Hey, you guys. It's me, the most targeted citizen, your local legendary cop hater. Hope you're having a good day. I'm struggling through. What you see on the screen there is body camera footage from an actual case. It's a little girl, 11-year-old girl, surrounded by terror pigs, and that's her father there to the right. I'll let you see the video. Um, I have to link it in the description. But in this video, um, this little girl, 11, who should not have a cell phone, has a cell phone. She prank calls 911 now. Supposedly it's a YouTube challenge or a TikTok challenge where let's prank 911. This is so cool. When my daughters were young, they were on a dead phone. It didn't have any minutes. It was totally disconnected. One of the old flip phones, because my daughters are 28, 29 years old now. And 911, cops showed up at the front door at 3 o'clock in the morning. I had no idea what was going on. Of course, didn't like cops too much then. Not near as much as I dislike them now. But prank call to 911. And the prank call then moved over to text, where this little girl was texting from supposedly the interstate, where she says that she witnessed a kidnapper kidnapping a child or a person at gunpoint. And, 11-year-olds, they can't really keep their story straight. Oh, he's got blue eyes and brown hair. How do you know he's got blue eyes and brown hair if you're behind them on the road? I don't know. Anyway, cops scramble. They're trying to find a kidnap victim. I mean, I would have done a little research. Now, if you know anything about law enforcement, the people that answer the phones, they are some of the most ignorant on the planet. You think a cop knows jack crap about law? The people that answer the phones know even less about law. They'll never turn away a phone call. In other words, if you call and say, somebody's on the sidewalk and they're acting funny, the people answering the phone, the 911 operators, they will make equivalency between that and a crime. Weird. Oh, weird. We got to send the SWAT team out. It's insanity what these people do, because it's just like Walmart. Walmart has greeters welcoming you into the store. Well, the people at the 911 call center, they say no to no one, because that's always another way to generate revenue. So in the video, and I hope you go watch it, I'll link it as I said in the description. Here's the dad. So the cops show up. They finally find out the phone, because whether you know it or not, they don't need your phone for GPS data, but they have it. And it can go down to a square inch. On TV, they say, they can get approximate to the tower. They don't know exactly. They know exactly where that cell phone is. They can find it underneath your mattress if they need to. So the cops show up at the house, and the girl's inside, and she sees the cops, and she says, the cop called back, and she's like, F you, and it hangs up. So the dad's out mowing the grass on the lawnmower, the cops show up, hey, and start asking questions. Well, the little girl's looking out the window, and she's like, oh, God, the crap's hitting the fan now. So dad there, such a wonderful dad he is, invites the cops up, and he's sitting there in front of his wife and daughter. You have to tell the cops. You have to tell them. You got all these cops out here, and every time I see a law enforcement officer, I always thank them for their service. You know that we love cops around here. They're the good guys. You know that I always, I'll buy them a drink. In other words, he's admitting to his daughter, hey, I'm a bootlicker. The problem with this bootlicker, and listen, I'm a parent. I'm a stepdad now. My kids, I never had to call the law on my children. My daughters are good, but Mason got to showing his ass in kindergarten, first grade, and I thought it was a good idea then too. Hey, let's call a cop here, maybe figure this situation out. Well, I would never recommend this to anyone. And that's what cop sucking dad here. This guy right here, the cop sucker dad. We always think law enforcement. So this dad is so ignorant. He's got a total of about 6 cop cars at his house over a dumb prank that his 11-year-old daughter is doing. Now, I haven't watched the rest of the video. I'm not all the way through yet. But this dad, as ignorant as he is, thinks it's a perfectly great idea to force his daughter into a confession in front of law enforcement. He thinks because he thanks them and tells them they're heroes and then kisses their ass that, well, they're not going to arrest his baby girl. Surely they won't do that. I mean, she's an 11-year-old, and it's a dumb thing. She should be grounded, get a whoop, and have her phone taken away. Yeah, but surely they're not going to arrest my daughter, an 11-year-old, going to jail. This is stupid, right? Well, Dad coaxes a confession out with Mother, and the cops, of course, read her the Miranda rights because now it's serious because they're going to get a confession, and Dad is forcing a confession. Then it gets to the point where the cops are like, well, we got the confession now. Thanks, Dad, for making your daughter confess to a felony, multiple felonies. So the cop says, turn around. We're going to put handcuffs on you and take you to the station. And the girl starts screaming, and the girl's like, well, I can't get in the car. I'm not going to get in that car. And the dad runs over to comfort his daughter. He's like, oh, yeah, my daughter can't get in. She can't even sit in a dentist chair. She has very bad anxiety. She'll hurt herself. And the cops are like, oh, no. Oh, no. She's going to go with her. And the dad's like, well, wait. We're on the same team. You can't take my daughter. I'm going to have to get a lawyer. I got to pay. No, you can't take my daughter. This bootlicking, cop-sucking dad, so proud to say how much he loves law enforcement, doesn't know the very basics in you have the right to remain silent, use it. Old bootlicking dad here thought, you know what? I'm going to ground my daughter. I'm going to take away her phone. I'm going to do all that stuff. But the cops, they're just going to come here and they're going to tell her, you know, you can't do that. We're going to let you know the seriousness of the problem. Oh, no. Cops want a pound of flesh. Those cars don't run on fairy farts. They run on taxpayer dollars. And that taxpayer dollars ain't enough for the pig patrol. You see old bootlicking dad here. He didn't understand what he just did. I mean, the look on his face right now, you can kind of tell. What did I do? What? I forced my daughter to confess to a crime in front of law enforcement without a lawyer present. So this dad just talked him into, who knows, $30,000. And there's a very good possibility that this 11-year-old girl is a great kid who just got set wayward from a stupid YouTube video, because even when I was 17 years old and they charged me with felonies, I had no idea at 17 what that word meant. Had no clue. A child should never be in handcuffs. An 11-year-old girl should never be in handcuffs, except for the, of course, extreme events that you can well imagine. But here's this dad pleading for his daughter's life. Please, she has anxiety. She can't be tied up. She can't be in handcuffs. She can't do that. It's hurting her. Dad is now on the other side saying, oh no, this isn't a learning lesson, Dad. We're going to get our pound of flesh. Now, I haven't watched the rest of it. You'll have to do that for yourself. Parents, don't use cops as an example. Never introduce your children to law enforcement. Never tell your children to just trust men and women in uniforms. Tell your children to avoid people in costumes just as you would a rabid animal. They are not your friends. They have never been your friends. They care nothing about you. The whole point is to put you and your children in a jail cell. You understand? Take your money, extort you, and charge you a ransom to get out. Don't let cops be there to discipline your children. God bless.